All right, guys. So let's talk about why YouTube automation is cooked. All right. So, YouTube automation, when people sort of think about it, they think of like a faceless YouTube channel. So it could be somebody, anywhere in the world making a faceless YouTube channel. As long as they have a voiceover artist, they can make money. That's what people kind of think of when it comes to YouTube automation. Now, I have a YouTube channel. It's over 1 million subscribers. I make multiple six figures a month from that YouTube channel. And I also do YouTube automation because I only have to spend 4 hours a week on it. But when people hear the word YouTube automation, that's not what they think of. And that's why they're pretty much cooked, because the average person, when they think of YouTube automation, what they think is, oh, I'm gonna make these fake AI videos about, some guy who cheated on his wife, or some wife who cheated on the guy, and it's just completely made up by AI, and it's like a narrative type video. I mean, I'm sure you've seen these types of videos. Upload it to YouTube, pretend like it was a Reddit post or something, and that's YouTube automation, right? And YouTube hates that type of content, and they've been mass banning those types of videos, right? They want you to make videos that are of substance, because people might click on the video, they might even watch it, but eventually they're gonna figure out that it's fake content. Even the slow ones, they're gonna figure it out. And that's not good. YouTube does not want that. YouTube prioritizes viewer satisfaction over even revenue, okay? So even revenue, viewer satisfaction is more important, okay? So let's talk about what you can do instead when it comes to YouTube, okay? So instead of making these crappy videos where you don't really give any value whatsoever, what you can do instead is you can still use all the principles of YouTube automation. That's exactly what I do in my various different YouTube channels, but you're actually giving value. So you can figure out how to automate giving value. Now, giving value could be educational, and in many cases it is educational. I primarily focus on educational channels, but with that being said, you can make edutainment content, which is kind of half education, half entertainment. And you can also make entertainment content where you're just telling stories and stuff like that, right? And you can definitely make it work. Lots and lots of people have made that work, okay? So if you are one of those people, you're watching this and you're one of those people who wants to make the crappy YouTube automation content where you're just lying to people, you're making up stories, that kind of thing, it's not gonna go well for you in 2025, because I happen to know some people that are kind of on the inside at YouTube, and especially for long form content, they are really cracking down on the really crappy, YouTube automation, faceless, crap that you see a lot of the time on YouTube. They're really cracking down on that. They're gonna be demonetizing, they're gonna be doing all kinds of other stuff. And the problem with a lot of the faceless content is the only way you can make money is with AdSense. And that's a pretty big problem, because if they're gonna be demonetizing you, then you're not gonna be able to make money with AdSense, okay? So this is something that's coming down the line. It's really big, and here's what I recommend that you do instead. I recommend that you make content that actually gives value, for one. Now, you can do a mass market audience. That's totally fine. I have that on my main channel. I have other channels like that as well. But what I think is the best opportunity is making niche content for an audience that has a lot of money. And I'm gonna actually give you two different opportunities, because this one might not appeal to you. So I'm gonna give you a second opportunity after this. Make niche content for an audience that has a ton of money. Quite a few of my clients do this. I'll give you two different examples. And of course, I'd never reveal the channel because they're my client and I don't want them to have competitors. But I'll give you two different examples. One of my clients owns a recruiting agency, and he recruits for a very specific position that is a huge pain point for business owners. This is a position that's incredibly difficult to hire for. And when he places people for this position, a lot of the time he'll get paid $50,000 to place people, to find someone really good for a position like this. And he gets, like, he uploads these little Loom videos and he gets like 100 views per video if he's lucky, but all 100 of those views are business owners or CEOs, executives that would be very likely to watch his videos and buy his products. Basically, like all 100 of them, okay? And he makes $2 million a year doing this. And most of his revenue comes from his YouTube channel. He doesn't run ads or anything like that. So almost all of it comes from YouTube channel or word of mouth from people that came from the YouTube channel, basically, right? So it's absolutely big brain, okay? It's really big brain stuff. That's not even the craziest example. I have another client that I've worked with, and he owns a technology company that basically helps people to, it helps with a very specific technology product that business owners often use. And he has a subscription model where basically they can almost hire him yearly, and then he's on demand for them. So basically, he can hire his company to help with this very specific piece of software. It's like a software suite that business owners often use. Can't really get into details because, again, you'd probably know who it is, and I don't want to cause my clients to have more competition. But he charges about $5,000 a year to basically have on-demand tech support for this suite of business software that business owners often use. We're talking millions of business owners use this tech software. And it's a super good deal because if they didn't do that, they'd have to hire a full-time IT guy. So it's a really, really good deal to do that. And he makes $10 million a year from a YouTube channel that only gets like 500 views per video, right? $10 million a year. Okay, so I think that's probably the best opportunity on YouTube. But with that being said, it's not for everyone. I get it. Not everyone wants to make educational content. That's kind of boring, right? A lot of time it's a little bit boring to help people with technology stuff. So here's the second opportunity. And by the way, you could do that same exact thing, just help, make more mass market content and then sell a lower priced product. A lot of people do that. That's also a good opportunity. I did that on my main channel, and I make a good amount of money with my main channel, but that's what most people do, and it's just not as good of an opportunity. But you can still make it work, and I still teach a lot of people to do that. But the second opportunity that I think is really good is I think that what you can do is basically create like a YouTube automation empire. So you create a ton of different YouTube automation channels, and you basically, not just like one or two, but a bunch of different YouTube automation channels, and basically create like a little empire where you almost like own the ecosystem. Now, these could be faceless, or they could have, personal brands. They could have, you could be doing it yourself, you could be making the videos yourself, or you could even hire somebody else to make the videos for you. But it would basically be like a little empire of YouTube automation where your time isn't directly coupled to it, or you only have to spend a very little amount of time on each one of those channels. Now, that requires really good infrastructure for your YouTube business. It requires your YouTube business to have good automations, good SOPs, good infrastructure. You got to hire people, et cetera, et cetera. The first opportunity, the reason why I think it's a little easier is because it doesn't require all that other stuff, right? It doesn't require a lot of infrastructure. It's actually quite easy to make videos for a sophisticated audience if you're selling something high ticket, right? So that's why I think it's a little bit easier. But I do see the second option also being really, really good, because you can basically create an entire empire. You could even do it in different niches if you want to, or you can do it all in a same or similar niche and just dominate the entire niche. Okay, so those are the two really good opportunities. Now, notice that both of these, you're not making useless content that just wastes everybody's time and YouTube ends up deleting you. You're actually adding value to the niche, right? You're making content that adds value. It either entertains or educates or some sort of combination of those two things. And it's really good for everyone involved because you're adding value to the niche. You know, you're going to be generating a lot through AdSense, but you can also monetize it on the back end through software products, affiliate marketing, et cetera, et cetera. You could even potentially do a high ticket product if you play your cards right. Okay, so those are the two opportunities that I think are going to be really good in 2025. And I think the typical content, I mean, I've even seen people like promoting this type of content. It's like, how can you sleep at night knowing that you're just promoting lies and bullshit content all across the internet? It's like fake stories that you made up about, fake Reddit stories about people cheating on. It's like just goofy, right? And that's what people do. They make their whole living with that, and they're just shameless, right? They just don't care. And that's cool. All right, if that's how you want to be, that's cool. But I don't think that's a good way to do it. YouTube also doesn't think that's a good way to do it, and they're banning that type of content left and right. I've even seen some gurus on Twitter that have talked about their stuff getting banned. I wonder why. So those are the two opportunities, guys. Those are the two big ones. Take it from somebody who has been in the YouTube trenches for like 10 years. I've seen all the rise and fall of different things and seen all the opportunities, and I know that this is a massive, massive opportunity for people. Those are the two things that are the low-hanging fruit. It's much easier to do those two things because, if you're going to do the YouTube automation thing, if you're going to do it with one channel, you might as well do it with a shitload of channels, right? Because if you're going to set up the infrastructure and the operations for that, you might as well do it for a bunch of different channels, right? Instead of focusing on one channel. Or else you're just going to have a bunch of like part-time people that only work like a few hours a week for you. And it's just going to be a bit of a mess, right? So it's much better to just do it for a bunch of different channels. Just create like a little empire of faceless channels. And the great thing about that is it's easy to sell. Now, the one where you appeal to people who have a lot of money is also one where you can build a business, like a consulting business or something like that. It's also easy to sell. And you can make a ton of money right up front. So that's why I like those two business models is not only can you make a bunch of money up front, but it's also easy and realistic to sell down the line, which is great. So if you are interested in learning exactly how you can do something like this is exactly what I teach people to do. I only have to spend 4 hours a week on my main channel because I've completely figured out everything when it comes to the system of doing YouTube. I've figured it out from the ground up. Nobody else knows how to do this stuff. I use AI, I use templates, I use automations, and it's just copy and paste. I put that into your business so that you can use it as well, okay? So if you wanna figure out exactly how to do that, there will be a link that you can book down in the description and the pinned comment below. This will be a 45-minute consultation where basically like a strategy call or a demo where we will go over exactly how you can do this. We'll diagnose your problems, right? So kind of like a doctor, we'll figure out what your problems are. We'll figure out if we are a good fit to work with you, and we will then see if we want to work together, basically. And we'll tell you what the roadmap is in the future. We'll give you a kind of like a 3-month roadmap of what you should be doing in the next 3 months. So it'll be the most valuable 45 minutes that you can possibly spend on your business. I can pretty much promise you that. People absolutely love it when we do this. And there's a good chance that we'll end up working together. So book a link, book a call, link in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.